So now that you have watched the basic foraging video and you've mastered some of those techniques, some of you out there may be looking for more advanced foraging techniques. Today we're going to discuss a few of those different ways that you can do that with homemade stuff at home or some commercial products that you can look at. So as a basic overview from last week, what you want to do is start easy. If your bird seems to be having some difficulty understanding the concepts when you try to go to more advanced techniques, you want to back off and go a little bit slower, make it a little bit more graduated so that they understand the process and the jump and leap that you've asked them to do. So you may have to take additional steps in between those two things to get them and encourage them to forage. Some of those basic things include adding extra bowls. You can fancy it up by adding a different bowl. This is a salsa dish that was made where you can store some extra food or treats into here and hang that in the cage somewhere. You can get something such as a little cup where you hang and you put a little treat inside. So getting them to encouraging your birds to look around the cage and explore and look in their toys to find new places for food. If you're playing with your bird on a table, one of the things you can use is a cup. So this is Fargo. He's going to demonstrate one of the slightly more advanced techniques, which is hiding a piece of food under an object. Will you step down, please? All the way. Thank you. So first what you want to do is show your bird that you have something that they value, a little piece of food. Oh, look at that. That's good. That's just a little crumb. And what we'll do is set the food down, and he sees that I'm hiding it under something. So the food is now hidden. So he has to understand and graduate the concept of there's food underneath this toy. So what he just did was push it aside and get his reward. So you can see he's interested in the food item I have to offer. And I'm going to hide it underneath. Look, buddy, it's over here. And there he's going to pick it up and throw it, and now he gets his reward. Another concept that you can try is the piñata toy idea. They make commercial piñata toys where you can hide food inside, but if your bird loves to rip open and tear up cardboard boxes or likes to shred things, one of the easy things that you can do is get some brown paper lunch bags, so something like this. And all you have to do is get some special treats, maybe a little piece of almond or a chili pepper, and you put them inside. And fold the top up and just grab some kind of leather string. And tie the bag up, and then you can hang that from their cage, and so the bird has to rip it open, and then the food comes out and falls out with it. Another easy thing that you can use at home is a paper towel roll. When you're done with your paper towels, what you can do is you can fold the ends and just bend them in, and you can put food items inside and do the same thing with the other side. And for this is more for advanced birds that understand how to rip things open, but if you've got a slightly beginner bird, what you can do is you can cut holes in there so that it's easy to see. They can rip open, have a place to get started where they can tear open the roll in order to get the food out. Another great concept is the burying concept, where your bird has to move items out of the way in order to get the reward that they want. One of the things you can do is you can use your regular homemade diet, so whatever that may be, say you have some Harrison's bird food, and you put that in a bowl, and you spread that around, and what you do is you use some wooden beads. You can use plastic beads as well. Make sure that it's an appropriate size for your bird, and what you do is you put the beads in over top of the food. So the food is now buried, and what they have to do is they have to move these beads out of the way in order to get to the food pieces. So they have to shuffle that around and work a little bit harder to get their food. You can take the burying concept a little bit further by doing what we call covering. What you can do, I've already prepared a stainless steel dish and a piece of paper that I've wrapped and held it in place with a piece of leather rope. You can use other appropriate types of things to hold the paper on. But what you want to do is there's food already in here. And you can poke a hole in the center. You do this for the more advanced birds where there's just a little place for them to start. But for your beginner birds, what you want to do is get them used to the concept of there being paper around the edge. So, you know, for a nervous bird, you might want to start a little bit wider. For a bird that's a little bit more advanced, you can do a smaller hole. But you cut a hole in there so that maybe they have to rip and tear the edge a little bit in order to get to the food inside. Same concept goes with a foot toy. You can do this inside each of your food dishes, but you grab a piece of paper and you wrap. So you stick maybe an almond in there and you wrap it like a piece of candy. So maybe you twist the ends here and you put the wrapped piece of food inside their food dish. You can do a couple of these. You know, you can do one where you can see the ends of it so they understand the concept. You know, oh, there's a piece of paper and they have to rip the paper off, so that one they can see that there's food in there. But you can completely hide the toy so that they have to rip the paper off in order to get to the almond inside. Another great toy you can make or purchase is a wooden block. So what you can do is buy some wood, and you can drill holes if you're handy with some power tools. You can drill holes in them, drill lines in there where you can shove pieces of food so you can get an almond and you can stick it inside. Same with these other toys. You can hide pieces of food inside there and stick, you know, you can even put wrapped pieces in there and hide the food inside a toy like this. You can purchase toys like this, or you could make one of your own. There are a large amount of commercial toys out there. One of the great products and great companies is the Creative Foraging Systems. What they do is they make these little things out of, there's a plastic type material, and there's cardboard that you put over top of these things where the birds have to rip through the cardboard. This would be a great one for a little cockatiel or a budgie, where you put some of their regular seed diet in there, and there's something to catch it here. And as they become more advanced, what you can do is wrap this in some cardboard, so they have to tear open the cardboard in order to get to the food inside. In addition, you know, different toys like this where, you know, it's clear, they can see that there's food inside, but they have to do some manipulation to move and get to that piece of food. So with something like this, when you put a piece of food in there, you could put some of their Harrison's diet. They have to learn how to flip this open and grab the food out. There's slightly more advanced toys, such as this, where, you know, there's an opening hole where you can hide a treat and you stick it in. The beginner birds, what you want to do is make it so that it easily comes undone. So all they have to do maybe is just tug on it. For a more advanced bird, you twist it and it doesn't come undone as easily. So they have to learn to manipulate this part and open it. If you have a bird that still needs more challenging, there's a lot of different types of toys that you can look at and purchase on online forums and online venues. But one of the concepts, especially for your macaws or your grays that are really advanced at this technique, they make different toys where you have to unscrew something in order to get the food out. So with a toy like this, there's a large bolt, and they have to learn to unscrew that in order to open up the cavity where food or treat item is hidden. Those are much for more advanced birds and birds that are good at manipulating their feet or manipulating their beak in order to open something. But that's something that you could graduate to as your bird becomes much more advanced and finds that these things are all way too simple for him. I hope this helps, and I hope that you guys are still working on getting your birds to learn how to forage, and that you can graduate your bird to more advanced foraging techniques. Give us a call if you have any questions. We look forward to hearing all your stories about any of your ideas that you guys have come up with.